The topic of the day is, should there be term limits in Congress? My opinion on the matter is that yes, there should be term limits in Congress. And one of the driving reasons why I believe this is because of some wise words said by one of our founding fathers. John Adams said that without term limits, every man in power becomes a ravenous beast of prey. What he means by this is that the longer you stay in power, the more you will start to think about benefiting yourself as a whole, and you will start to care less about the public welfare as a whole. This can be seen in Congress by some of the older party members that tend to be that have strong political ties and do not believe in compromise at all when creating legislature, and they only want to benefit themselves and or their political parties, be it liberals and or conservatives. Now, one of the main ideas on how we can change this is that we should create a citizen government. A citizen government, if you will, is a government where we have more average people like you and I without business or law degrees that are in power. A benefit of this is that there will be a lack of seniority. Seniority in Congress is when you have been in Congress for a long period of time, and the longer amount of time you have been in Congress, the more power you tend to hold, and your say in matters is weighs more than a person who's been there for less time than you. Another thing is that there will be a less chance of corruption. It is proven that the longer you stay in power, the more you start to follow special interest groups, bribes, and care about how you can only benefit yourself. And by making these term limits, you will decrease the chances of corruption in power. Another thing by creating these term limits is that we force politicians to think about the impact that the legislature has in the community. They will start to care more about how it affects the community and them as a whole, because once their term is over, they will be back as a normal citizen, and they will have to suffer and or benefit from the legislature they passed when they were in power. Another benefit of having this citizen government is that we can bring in diversity and fresh ideas to Congress. Social Security, Medicare, all new ideas that weren't founded by the two main parties, the liberals and the conservatives. This diversity, if you will, can also allow more bills to be passed in Congress because of there will be more moderates in Congress. It is proven that with more moderates in power, there will be more compromise, and we can get more legislature passed, and there will not be the strong party affiliation that opposes it as much, because they will be affected by these laws, and they need to know what will benefit them or what will harm them once their term is over. These ideas are great ideas at that, but something clearly has to be done. As of October 7, 2015, Congress has a 13% approval rating, meaning that only 13% of the public thinks that Congress is doing a good job. Now, all the ideas I've said in this video are good ideas and very beneficial, but again, they are all theories and have to be proven in practice. But one thing I know is, with a 13% approval rating, something clearly has to be done that is very abysmal and a low rating at that, and the approval rating could dip even more and more as time progresses. So there must be something done, or who knows what could happen to the government. I want to thank you all for watching and listening in to what I had to say on this matter. I hope you all have a good evening. Thank you.